alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for having me. And it's a pleasure to be on the platform and to listen to such distinguished, mashallah, speakers. Coincidentally, I was in Riyadh 3 weeks ago, and I can assure you, if there is an economic opportunity now on the planet, it happens to be the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And the amount of opportunity and possibilities that have emerged are completely phenomenal. And I think this platform has given a good opportunity to everybody to understand how to engage with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, mashallah, is now much advanced in ease of business, much advanced in the professional etiquettes that the world follows. In fact, in some places, the world is following Saudi Arabia and not the other way around. So mashallah, may Allah keep it blessed, protected, and always progressive for all the right reasons, inshallah. So what I'll do today is I'll just first share a little bit of my slides, if you don't mind. Let's see, can you see my slides?
Yes, sir.
So basically why I think that the next $1 trillion economy will be built on people like you and me. Why what the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is doing is very important. Why networking will support the kingdom's economy going forward. Because if you actually look at how we work as people, as professionals, as individuals, as business owners, as decision makers, is we try to build networks. And those networks is where the wealth really comes from, right? So if you look at the economies today, they're completely dependent on GDP from what? From production and consumption. But actually, there is also another possibility, which is a very big pillar that can stand in contributing to economy, which is the third pillar of wealth, and that is networks. And so far, that pillar of wealth has been underutilized. And I believe that this is where the opportunity is for all of us. So the World Bank estimates that almost $10 trillion is lost annually for underutilized human possibilities of networks and collaboration. $10 trillion. $10 trillion is 2 times the ambition that India has to grow to. So India is trying to go to $5 trillion. So 10 trillion is lost because we are not using networks properly. So if you look at the World Economic Forum's report, it says that 70% of growth will come from relationships and partnerships, yet less than 2% of it is being used in the global ecosystem. So if we all connect like this in platforms like this, we will be the next wave of wealth, not just for the kingdom, but from the kingdom to the rest of the world as we are. It's not about what we produce, it's about how we connect and why we connect, inshallah. I'd appreciate if people don't touch their cursors because they create lines on the screens. So the problem is that we live in a society, a world which is disconnectedly connected world, which means we have too much technology, but yet we are not connected. Most of the time we are going through content, we are not actually conversing. So if you look at most of the biggest platforms of social media, this is Facebook, it's Instagram, it's TikTok. It's a one-way street. You're going through content, you're strolling, you're basically going down, you're not conversing. The only platform that converses is WhatsApp. That's the only place where you're going to send somebody a message and he or she is going to reply to you. So the world is connected, but yet economically disconnected. So billions communicate, but few convert those connections into opportunities. Business find contacts, but not trusted partners. Governments want to export, but lack verified trade networks. And professionals have networks, but don't know how to monetize them ethically. So we build communication networks. We spend a lot of money on that, but not economic ecosystems of trust. How do we build that? For that, we need 3 stakeholders. And that's what Connect Souk is all about. The solution is to create a networking economy. So Connect Souk, what we are doing is turning trust into trade. We're bringing business stakeholders, people who want to join us as members and franchise leaders to create connections to develop economy. We want to use the Islamic concept of amana, which is trust, which is built on ethics and accountability. So people trust each other and move ahead. With every introduction, there's a potential of making commerce. And that's what we are trying to do. You know, in a world where economy is flipping every now and then due to tariffs and the rest of it, people are losing jobs. And while they are losing jobs, what they don't realize is they're not losing their network. And the network can always be monetized. And this is where we think that the possibilities can come forward for everybody and for everybody to grow. Today, we as CONNECT.GROW are spread in more than 30 countries. And those 30 countries are uniting economies and bringing stakeholders that create networks for themselves. We've signed MOUs with multiple trade bodies and chambers of commerce across different sectors. We're currently focused more on health, HR, the business of spices, and we've also now partnered with the single escrow account holder license in the GCC and launching tokenization as well. We believe that if we create network trade pipelines worth millions, the opportunities will be in billions. And that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to encourage professionals and government stakeholders to come forward and try and build this network with us. We are trying to make a network where everybody can grow with everybody else. Because if we don't do that, then we're missing that $10 trillion economy. But what if we do that? The shift is huge. The economic paradigm is massive. The multiples can be great. It no longer depends on what you earn and what your titles are. What matters is how many new people can you know? How fast can you grow? So trade begins with a connection, but the connection is rarely measured, and this is what we're trying to do. So McKinsey says that networks-driven companies grow 3 to 5 times faster than traditional ones, which means every business that exists today can grow 3 to 5 times, or as long as they know how to use networks. Over 60% of cross-border trade fails due to lack of trust and verified networks. If nations, everyone, including the kingdom, decides to monetize just 1% of their human network, a global GDP could rise by 1.5 trillion. So it no longer matters if you're in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and you're just a few million. Does not matter. What matters is how many people do these few millions know? And guess what? The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is where the religion of Islam, mashallah, came through, right? It came through this little marshland in Mecca. And from there, what was the most important factor of Mecca was trade. It was trade that was going there. And from trade, we went across the world. I did a lecture in 2023 in Sumatra in Indonesia, and it was very close to the island of Banda Aceh where Islam was received. And I told the audience, I said, did any Muslim army invade you for you to have Islam? They said, no. So I said, how did you get Islam? How do you become the biggest Muslim country in the world with 280 million Muslims? They said, well, Muslim traders came and traded with us. So if you look at the concept of trade and the importance of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in trade, you would realize why what you're doing today in this session and this platform is very important for everybody. Everybody who's in the UK, who's in America, who's in Canada. Canada is going through challenges, as you can imagine. EU is going through big challenges. Besides India, Malaysia, Indonesia, Turkey, Australia, New Zealand, everybody has to come back to our roots. And the roots is that we began good halal trade from Mecca, from the kingdom. And this is where I think everything can go back. This is where we can impact 1.5 trillion in economy, if you would like. But we need to start networking. And the networking that we are talking about is trust-based. We believe that we can connect with universities, with chambers of commerce, and build global cities to come together so that we create a social capital index. Every one of you is important, not because of the title you have, not because of the amount of money you have. It's because of the amount of people you can connect and the impact that you can create for your own economy and those around you. We are here to make an impact. We are not here to earn. We're here to make an impact. And the day we realize that our lives are supposed to be impactful, that's when you will realize why the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia over the last 5-6 years has launched these impactful, larger than life projects. Why? Because the message is clear. We were once again going back to the 16th and 17th century, where we were known as the golden era of the world, where everything happened, economy happened, innovation happened. For that, we need to get back to networking again. For that, we need to get back to connecting again. And that's how we will, inshallah, build a stronger economy and a stronger community. Allah has said, Allah has asked us, He said, I have made you tribes and societies to do what? To know each other. Right? So you have to know each other. To know each other, you have to extend your knowledge. It's not just about how many people you know in your state, in your country, in your university. You have to extend around. When platforms like this come forward and invite you, all of you today who are listening to us, the only thing you should leave from here is, okay, I now know new people What can I do with them? The brother from Saudi who just introduced himself and the opportunity in the kingdom, etc., etc. You should try to understand what can we do. Listen, you do not know where success is, just like you do not know where your risk is. Allah knows that. What you have to do is you have to apply yourself. You have to apply yourself with all your effort, but do it with a good heart, a lot of positivity, and believe that if you work with others, things will get better for you. And that's how we Muslims work. We work with each other. And our motto in CONNECT.GROW is what? Bringing everybody together for each other. The incubation of possibilities is much better and much bigger if we work with each other, inshallah. And that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to build small networks in every university that we are trying to give lectures in every city and state that we are trying to reach, and of course in every country. And these networks will connect to each other like clusters into a hub, and a hub into a nucleus, and that nucleus will become a networking, inshallah, nucleus in the world. Just for all of you to know, not a matter of discussion, but a matter of sharing, to say that when your intention is good, Allah will reward you. According to statistics, Facebook took around 3 years to reach 10 countries. LinkedIn took around 6 years to reach 10 countries. CONNECT.GROW reached 22 countries in less than a year. And all of this was possible without any marketing budget, zero, without any employees, only you brothers talking to me and I talking to you and say, open a chapter here, open a chapter there. Everybody got together. Once again, we need to do that. The kingdom is opened up. Let's use the opportunity. The platform is there. You're there, and there is a reason for you to be on this call, on this network. Just to conclude my discussion, I always believe that nothing happens unless it's destined. You were destined to be on this call. You were destined to listen to everybody here. Now you decide where you want to go with that destination. Whether you just listen and you sit back and say, wow, what a beautiful session. No, we are not here to impress you. We are not here to leave a mark. We're here to create an impact. Because if you don't move, we can't do anything. We need our brothers and sisters to move. It's not enough for us to say, oh, the West, oh, the West. Well, it's time for the global South to move. If the kingdom is taking leadership, well, come on board and join that whole episode and see where it takes you. May Allah guide us all, keep us protected, keep us blessed, keep us in doing everything that is right, that He's pleased with. And with that, I would like to thank you again for having me here. I am probably the least among all of you. And please pray for my success in this world and the hereafter, and that we stick together and get ourselves together as a tribe, one global tribe, and deliver a lot of good halal success, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.